Loughborough University today, and I've been here, we're testing all the different variants of my muscles and my tendons and ligaments and everything.
We used an isometric mid-thigh pull with a barbell fixed in a static position. This is kind of as close as we could get really to asking him to do a maximum deadlift attempt.
Go in. 3, 2, 1, pull! Let's go!
It's been very interesting to sort of learn how your muscles react and your tendons react to the forces I've been putting through my body. You know, to think, you know, when I won the World's Strongest Man, I was deadlifting over half a ton, and the thought process of what was going through my tendons and muscles at that point must have been amazing, because we've done it here today, and it, you know, obviously I'm not as strong as I used to be, but it still proved that you can create huge amounts of force.
We're basically by the MRI, magnetic resonance imaging scanner. And as you can hear, the scanner is whirring away and making quite a lot of noise, because we're scanning at the moment with Eddie Hall, who was the 2017 World's Strongest Man. The current scanning we're doing is looking at his muscle anatomy. So we're scanning him all the way from just below the rib cage down to his ankle, so we can look at and ultimately measure the size of all of his muscles. Now, people have been interested in strength sports and strongmen since the dawn of civilization, to put it in a rather grandiose way. But the amount of scientific work studying people like Eddie Hall has been almost zero. We're really excited to go through the data carefully and see how Eddie stacks up for all of these characteristics and properties that we've tested today. How unusual is he? That's essentially the question we're trying to answer. Oh, he was very unusual. So his muscularity in many muscles is way bigger than anything we've measured from other groups, including trained and athletic groups. And what we found is that his muscular development was exceptional, particularly in muscles that we wouldn't perhaps expect to be really well developed, including the guy ropes, muscles that are involved in stabilizing the thigh and the pelvis.
What we found in terms of individual muscles was that there were 3 individual muscles that provide stability to the thigh and the pelvis that were particularly larger compared to an untrained control population, in the magnitude of between 140% to 202% larger for our World Strongman champion compared to an untrained control population. In terms of overall measured muscle mass, the size of the World Strongman champion's overall muscle mass was about twice that of the untrained population.
So Eddie Hall is obviously extreme in terms of his physical characteristics and his muscular strength. That informs our understanding of muscle weakness and muscle strength, which is a continuum from very weak, frail populations and those who have been suffering from illness and disease, and also perhaps are prone to injury, through to recreational exercises, and then very strong athletic groups. Understanding that kind of muscle weakness strength continuum and what determines muscle strength is actually really useful.